Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and I think a red alert is blaring in Disney's face right now because they're holding an emergency meeting, and I would say emergency because a lot of the co-workers, a lot of the employees are very, very anxious, very sad, or upset because, Bob Iger is saying, oh, he might be selling some assets, some TV assets at Disney. And, of course, employees are rightfully worried because, they don't want to lose their job. Well, we'll go directly into this as we have this here. Bob Iger seeks to calm a high anxiety at offsite with TV leaders after saying linear may not be core to Disney. The offsite was held Tuesday, according to the newsletter, citing people who attended. An individual with knowledge told that the meeting, hosted by Disney Entertainment co-chair Donna Walden, had been planned for weeks and that Iger had always planned to attend. The return CEO's comments made in a candid interview last week with David Faber at CNBC naturally set off alarm bells inside Disney General Entertainment Content, the division of the Magic Kingdom that houses a linear business and operates quintessential broadcast and cable networks such as ABC, the Disney Channel, National Geographic, and FX. CNN reporter Oliver Darcy wrote. People familiar with the matter told Darcy that thousands of employees have been experiencing high anxiety, sources noted to me, with them adding that Iger had effectively left staff in the dark by not communicating directly with them since the stunning interview. There have been no company-wide memos, no town halls, but nothing but silence since Iger joined the organization with the news. Tuesday's meeting sought to calm those nerves as Iger fielded questions submitted by the senior company leaders in attendance. Iger told the gathering that linear TV is incredibly valuable to our business, according to reliable sources. Iger, in particular, rizzed up ABC News, saying he's ridiculously passionate about the news business. It's important to this company. We need to figure out how it makes the transition into streaming, and I happen to believe we will endure. It's too good, it's too important, and it's really fun. A person was familiar with his comments told Darcy, but that didn't seem to entirely quell the fears of some senior leaders who now believe they could be for sale. As one Disney insider told reliable sources that Iger's remarks were the usual jewel in the crown stuff, except now we know that he's selling the jewel. It's great to say he loves the jewel, the source continued. It's great to say that the jewel is important. It's great to say that the jewel is fun, but he has revealed the truth. He wants to get the highest price he can for the jewel because he can't afford it anymore. Disney representatives declined to comment for this article. Yeah, it seems like Disney is not in a great business here. They're in fire and they're in flames. But again, I'm not quite sure what they're going to do here because again, they have the woke. What is it? The woke. Snow White. Thing going on there, and that's going to go up into flames, and everything else that they've been producing has been going up to flames, or been not even making even on. So I think that these are great things in question that Disney has to answer. We have this more, that Bob Iger moves to calm Disney after sparking high anxiety over potential sale of TV assets. And it says here is in an off-site meeting on Tuesday, the Disney chief executive spoke to senior leaders of the company's television business, CNN has learned. The meeting came just days after Iger decidedly candid remarks to CNBC's David Faber, in which he said Disney's linear business may not be core to the entertainment giant, a comment that immediately sent shockwaves to their industry. The admission to Faber naturally set off alarm bells inside Disney General Entertainment, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, as you can see here, that there is a lot of alarm bells and questioning going on with Bob Iger. We have this. Disney faces several concerning trends that are making one analyst more nervous. We have this. Walt Disney continues to give Macquarie analyst Tim Nolan new reasons to worry. The entertainment giant is in the midst of a cost-cutting push, but that only helps so much. According to Nolan, his list of concerning revenue trends is growing, and he thinks those dynamics could weigh on Disney's DIS narrative going forward. Nolan downgraded Disney stock to neutral from outperform back in May, citing a litany of concerns, some of which seem to get at the core of Disney's identity. For example, Nolan flagged that Disney will have a rough road ahead once inevitably tries to turn ESPN into a standalone streaming service. But there is also near-term revenue trends that have him feeling nervous. Nolan had already anticipated a slowdown in parks growth, but has now highlighted a Wall Street Journal report indicating that Walt Disney World has one of its slowest July 4th weekends in almost a decade. The park dynamic is potentially worrisome for the current quarter. Nolan wrote, while the July 4th period won't affect the results Disney is due to report August 9th. It may represent similar softening trends before that, he said. Additionally, he flagged weak box office performance after Elemental struggled and the new Indiana Jones movie logged only a modest debut. Content production is now halted to the WGA and SAG-AFTRA at strikes, threatening production plans until resolved. Yeah, that's what's happening. Also, I haven't really talked about the strikes at all because I think it's just insane, but I probably should talk about it. I eventually will, honestly. I'll get around to it. Disney also faces challenges in legacy media as extensive cord-cutting weighs on the company's traditional pay television business. Linear TV and ad sales do not appear to be improving in the US or internationally. And ABC saw one fewer NBA Finals game this year versus last. Nolan said it in his latest report. The company's expense reduction efforts could offer a cushion to profits, in his view, but these top-line issues are concerning. The company is also without its longtime chief financial officer, Christine McCarthy, who was well regarded but announced unexpected leave of absence in June. Perhaps this explains why Bob Iger's 2-year term has now been extended through 2026, but again raises questions about succession planning at Disney. Nolan said as he cut his price target on Disney stock to $94 to $103. More from the disaster here. We have that Disney's Indiana Jones 5 took in $300 million at the box office so far. A disaster for CEO Bob Iger and Lucasfilm. Released on June 30th, Dial of Destiny earned a disappointing $60 million in its opening weekend in the domestic theaters, and interest dropped off sharply ever since. Which, by the way, The Sound of Freedom has surpassed Indiana Jones by a great margin in the theaters, and I've been hearing it's becoming sabotage. More on that later. Just 1 week later, it surrendered the top spot at the box office despite being one of the most expensive movies ever made, and now it has sunk to a distant 4th in the table. The new entry could no longer rely on the goodwill built by the first 3 films after the critical disappointment of its predecessor. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, poor reviews, and dreadful word of mouth look to now sink Lucasfilm's first theatrical release since 2019. Its $302 global take has only matched roughly the reported cost of its production budget, which suffered from an expensive reshoots after the test screenings indicated audiences were less than thrilled with the initial ending. Marketing and promotion are expected to have added easily another $100 million to that bill, and Disney still has to pay the theaters their share of the receipts. It looks certain to fall short of the global total of 2008's Crystal Skull, $786.6 million, wrote box office on Sunday. Oh my god, this is a travesty for Lucasfilms and Disney. It is abysmal, and also a hard hit with the wokes. The situation is far more dire. According to the Hollywood Handle, Dial of Destiny is not expected to even cross this $400 million mark in global box office receipts, half of what the 4th installment made 15 years ago when a dollar went a lot further than today. This seems a safe bet given the stiff competition it now faces in the form of spy thriller Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning, Greta Gerwig's Barbie, and Christopher Nolan's biopic Oppenheimer. In reality, the indie sequel needed to haul in around $800 million just to break even. I think they're forgetting one movie here that's not being named. Sound of Freedom. Last time I checked, that this movie is breaking records for itself and doing very, very well, despite the fact that theaters are trying to sabotage it. So that being said, I think they're willingly and gracefully removing Sound of Freedom from this, even though that they have way more competition than they seem to realize. Should the grim predictions be true, the Lucasfilm production could potentially rival John Carter as the Mouse House's worst ever live-action commercial bomb and call into question the future of studio boss Kathleen Kennedy, a former Fortune's most powerful woman. Again, you're saying this, but how is this woman still even remotely hireable, or even not hireable, but in position of power, or why she's even there to begin with? She has had flop after flop after flop, And a lot of these movies under her wing have been done horrible. She has not produced a single good film at all. How is Kathleen Kennedy still at Disney? It's abysmal at the very least. She has created nothing good. Iger has made it clear financial responsibility now goes hand in hand with creative decision makers. But it may have consequences for Disney as well. The share price has been trading near 9-year lows when excluding the 2020 pandemic dip, and speculation continues over whether Iger may be forced to sell the company to Apple. Disney and Lucasfilm did not respond to a court request from Fortune for comment. Yeah, so Bob Iger and I would say Kathleen Kennedy is running this business and and Disney into the complete ground. It is completely shattering everything that they hold dear into the crater. And it's going to continue going on doing this. And the most hilarious part of this all is, you know how you wokies, you leftists, you trans people, everybody that you are a communist and say stuff like that? Why aren't you not watching these films? Why aren't you not going out and promoting this stuff? Because if you guys promote this stuff and love it so much, and you love the diversity, and you love these women and all that stuff into these films, why are you not watching this? Because, I mean, obviously, we're the minority, right? We're us people that, don't want to watch this woke garbage. I want to see your stuff, your content. We're the minority, apparently. So, if we're the minority, then why are these movies still failing? It's either you guys don't believe in what you actually believe and you think everything's false and you just want people to cater to your own mental illness and your own problems, or the movie is so bad, or these movies are so bad, that you don't even want to watch them. It's one of the two. So you get to pick. You don't get the third option because there is no third option. So, what is it? Woke leftists? Is it either where you're trying to make people cater to your own identities and all that stuff and try to push things onto other people? Or is it that the movies are so terrible that you guys don't even want to watch them, even though you are the ones that promote this stuff? You got to make a move somehow, and that's the only way I can see it. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care.